This September 12th, SON Estrella Galicia are back in London with their micro festival at Hackney's Paper Dress Vintage. With live music, beer culture, street food and workshops, SON Estrella Galicia is the musical arm of the family-owned independent Estrella Galicia beer brand, which has been creating unforgettable music experiences since 2009. The September the 12th event will be headlined by Coach Party with support from the New Weaves, as well as yet-to-be-announced DJ sets and local music selectors. There'll be a clothing repair workshop to customise your repaired clothes, a local food vendor serving 0 kilometre food with veggie and vegan options, a Soundcrafters interactive workshop, and a beer pouring workshop. Alongside the London event, there'll be a series of new micro-festivals in Madrid, A Coruña, Barcelona later in 2024, and Berlin and Granada in 2025, reflecting a truly global approach from SON Estrella Galicia. So if you're in London, September the 12th, swing by Hackney's Paper Dress Vintage for SON Estrella Galicia. Tickets are available now via Dice. As an independent music podcast, 101 Part-Time Jobs highly recommends DistroKid as the best solution to putting out your own music online. You can join 1 million other artists from all across the world putting out their own music on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere else across the DSPs where people are listening to your music. My dream as a kid was to run a small little label, and now with DistroKid, getting music out online is the easiest it ever has been, making 100% of your own royalties while paying a small annual fee. And that fee's even smaller as a 101 Part-Time Jobs listener. Head to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod to get 30% off your first year putting out your own music on DistroKid. Getting your own music out into the world has never been easier. Head to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod to get the best deal you can. "101 Part-Time Jobs at Reading Festival." We spoke with Militarie Gun and Spiritual Cramp, two torchbearers of punk rock and hardcore adjacent music right now. They're both excellent in their own right. Militarie Gun have the groove, Spiritual Cramp, the speed and the rock and roll. Both have got great front people, Ian Shelton and Michael Bingham, respectively. And that's who we got on the show today. From Reading 2024, we'll start off with Ian Shelton from Militarie Gun, featuring his mum, Sean. We're speaking with Ian from Militarie Gun and his mum, Sean.
Hello.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
It's a family affair. Did you just get in?
No. What day? We got in Thursday.
Do you get to hang out with your son a little bit then?
I do.
That's
Not
nice.
too much. They got me very busy today, and we just we flew in from Spain this morning. So this is actually the first time I'm seeing my mom today.
That is nice.
I went to grab her for the interview.
Literally.
Sean, when you're seeing your
Oh, and
son,
you got Danny there too.
when you're seeing your son on stage, Sean, and your son is commanding an audience,
Yes.
how does that make you feel?
Proud. Very, very proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the mosh pit?
No, he doesn't let me down there.
Don't know. Come on,
No.
Ian.
No. Well, so my dad has done that. He's gotten in the pit, and it pissed me off. It was
Okay.
terrifying. I was like, you got to get out of here, man. This is not good.
Do you feel like a responsibility as a parent when you're taking a photo? You got to make sure that you're not zooming in too much, or you don't have the iPad, or do you know what I mean? You're taking good content. Do you feel like you're a content gatherer?
Yes.
She's very big
You
on
gotta-
posting on Facebook.
Yeah. You got to be careful with
it's
Facebook
not-
these days.
Yeah. I have to be careful though. It has to go through his okay
All right.
before it goes up.
Hey, this show's called 101 Part-Time Jobs, and
Yeah.
it started off because a lot of my friends were playing in punk bands, like Ian and his brother. And of course, to keep on doing that, you got to pay pay for loads of stuff, recording and touring.
Yeah.
What were you like? What was your attitude about giving or making Ian have a job when he was a kid?
Well, I didn't have to make him. Ian's always worked very hard. Very, very hard.
There we go.
Everything that I said in our interviews now backed up. It's been verified by my mother.
Are you impressed? Are you impressed by his industriousness and like getting out there and sending loads of emails?
Okay, wait, this doesn't have to be a puff piece. Let's ask her a hard-hitting
No, I'm not.
question.
I'm just interested.
What's the worst thing about me?
Well, let me just back up to the other thing. Just back up. Just 1 second. He's very much like my mother. My mother was very driven. So he's very much like my mother. And he's always worked very diligently for what he wanted to do, which is music.
Hell yeah. And now you get to come to
And now
Reading.
what was the other question?
What's the worst thing about me?
Oh, boy. Oh. He never listens to me.
Do you think that could be a good thing, that if he doesn't listen to you, because then, finds his own mistakes, finds his own way?
Yeah, do you give good advice?
Have you found any of your mistakes I've told you about yet?
Couple few.
Couple few.
What's the most embarrassing memory that you've got of Ian? The most embarrassing for him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that he's ever embarrassed, really.
I get more embarrassed of myself than I am of. I don't think she thinks anything's embarrassing than I do. I think I would have things, but not her.
I think it's a good way you find out a lot about yourself when you get embarrassed by yourself. I mean, playing music at the start can be quite embarrassing.
Oh yeah, totally. It's humiliating. You look back at everything you make, and like, I look back even to like songs I wrote a year ago, and I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing. And yeah, you create a permanent record of your life.
I think coming somewhere like this, Reading Festival, legendary festival, like how many YouTube videos have we watched from like 92 all the way through to now?
I was listening to Nirvana live at Reading on the way in today, and I was like, this is crazy.
Do you feel like an infiltrator when you come into places like this?
Yeah, I feel like, infiltration is exactly what I was, in my head I described it as. So you fucked me up by saying the word first just now, because I'm like, damn it, now I don't have a better way to describe it. But yeah, infiltration. It's like to be from like a small town in Washington and be playing Reading and Leeds is nuts.
And what's the way to deal with that? Like, have fun, bring your mum into the situation?
Yeah. I like to just make everything as not what it's supposed to be as possible, and that's why I got my mom standing here with me.
Growing up playing in punk bands and hardcore bands, there's a lot of side stage action if your friends are playing, and there's the temptation to stand side stage.
Yeah.
But what is better, standing side stage or standing out the front, where you get the full PA?
Standing side stage is trash, and it's mainly for grifters who want to just get an Instagram post that makes it look like they're friends with the band. Standing out front is the coolest way. If I love a band, I try to be up front and participating. There's very few bands that get that out of me. Like recently, I went to Sound and Fury. I was up front for Drug Church. I was up front for Weekend Nachos, and I was on stage grifter for Twitching Tongues, but that's because all the fam was up there, so I had to be up there. But if it's a band I truly enjoy, you gotta be up front, participate, jump around, have fun.
Hey, 101 part-time jobs. Some quick fire questions about working in the workplace, being in the workplace. Have you ever fallen asleep on the toilet at work, either of you?
Never.
No.
Ever been fired?
Yes.
Let's go, Sean.
How many times?
Numerous times.
My mom is not necessarily meant for group settings.
Well,
I've never been fired.
Sorry. Is this going to show anywhere in the U.S.?
No, we'll set the permissions on YouTube.
Good.
Have you ever had a relationship with someone in the workplace?
I can't answer that.
We can't. I mean, that's deep. It's a tough one.
I never have.
Ian, what's the best line of lyrics you've ever written? What's the best line? The one you're proud of most?
I would say the one that I look back to the most, because I try to think about it as a lens on my life always, is I'm trying to live my life with nothing to hide and no one to fight. And I literally actively apply that. When I think about doing something that's borderline,
Yeah.
I think, am I being confrontational, and is this something I would hide? And I try to, because I have to go and sing that every night. I don't want to be a full of shit person. How do I not, how do I actually live up to that lyric that I have to go sing every day? So that lyric, I would say, is the one I'm most proud of.
You're writing your own playbook.
Trying to, I don't want to be full of shit.
Yeah.
So.
That's really nice. You got a lot of songs about friends and like friendship and the hardness of friendship.
Yeah, friendship's a hard thing.
And I think at first when people listen to your records, I think maybe that's the thing about music. When we hear lyrics, we're like, oh, it's about relationships, like romantic.
Yeah.
But I've seen you say in interviews that a lot of your songs are about friendships. And I think that's a really beautiful lens to have in it. Because you're right, friendships are difficult. We can be friends with the wrong people. We can not spend time with people we should be paying attention to.
Definitely. I mean, your friendships, so I try to frame a lot of them to sound romantic because that's what feels like most passionate and connecting with people. But you think about your relationship, like your romantic relationship, you only have one at a time. Traditionally.
Some people.
Traditionally, yeah. But you have multiple friendships, and so your relation, your interpersonal connection is different, and so I can only write so much about one romantic relationship, but I have a different thing going on here, a different thing going on there. Like one of our earliest songs was this song "Dislocate Me," which I wrote it to sound like a love song, but it's really about friendship, about someone just anticipating you change to be what they want you to be, and they don't actually care about who you are. They care about what they want to see in the world or something. It's like that was very politically driven. Being around very politically driven friends, like they expect you to be one way.
That's a big lesson. That's something that everyone goes through. That's very universal.
Yeah.
So, I write a lot about friendship, but I try to frame it in the framework of love.
I like that. When's the next record shaping up to?
Next year, hopefully.
Fuck yeah.
Got to record it, but we have it written-ish.
Have you got any particular favorite lines that may or may not make the record, or titles or kind of themes? That we can get excited about?
Yes, there's one. I think I probably said it in an interview with you, but there's a lyric that was on the last record that didn't make it, and then I've changed it into a new song. But it's the things you never remember, the things I'll never forget, and I think that sums up a lot of what I'm trying to say a lot of the time. So I'm hoping that'll be one of the big songs on the next record. So hopefully you'll hear it.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
Ian and Sean, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must be very proud of your son.
I'm very proud.
So that was Ian Shelton of Militarie Gun. They've got a great new tune out called Thought You Were Waving. Comes with a brilliant video too. And now we've got Michael Bingham from Spiritual Cramp. 2023, last year, they put out their debut album, and it's got some absolute belters on it. A great trio of tracks as well. Slick Rick, Into Talking on the Internet, and Herbert's and Holiday, which is a really romantic tune. This is Michael from Reading.
I've had a lot of jobs.
Because you had the fallow couple of years, right?
Hey?
You had the fallow couple of years. I mean, I've read about how
Fallow?
Fallow is in like empty, going out a lot, not sure knowing exactly where your life was headed.
Sorta. I had a good outside. If you met me, you'd be like, oh, this guy's got his life together. Like, I had a job, and I had a life. Like, I have are we filming already? Are we going for it?
Yeah, are we rolling?
Yeah, are we going for it? Hold on. Yeah.
We could be open here. I'll tell you about my life, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no. I mean, like, it just depends on, like, how you want to frame it. I definitely had a job I actually quit my job a year ago to do this full time.
Is that difficult?
I make a lot less money than I used to, for sure. But I have a lot more fun, sorta.
Yeah.
Some days. Like a day like
and
today.
And you tour a lot.
We do.
And so in that way, kind of instability kind of becomes stability.
Yeah, you really have to just throw yourself into the void and just jump off the cliff.
And it seems like you know what you're doing. It seems like you've got a plan. Like even from this far away and just reading a couple of interviews, hearing the record, reading the press releases, it's like, okay, I feel like these guys know what they're doing. They know what they want to do.
I know what I want to do. I don't know if it's going to happen.
What is it?
I want to be in the biggest band on planet Earth. but all I can do is just make cool art, right? And like present it in a way that I think should be in the world. I just want to make something that I would want to see someone else doing.
Yeah.
Right. And I also would like the rest of the world to think that that's cool and validate me. But that's the thing is like, we got a plan and we know what we're doing, but like, you could drive off a cliff, right? So all you can do is just work hard, try my best, and hope it works out.
I've got a sort of scenario. I had this thing. I played in a couple of bands when I was younger, and we went to this producer who's quite well respected, still does a lot of records. On the first day, he said, "Who do you want to hear this record?" And I said, "Everyone." And he stormed out the room. I'm not exaggerating. He stormed out the room, and then he sent me a passage from Get in the Van, Henry Rollins, and basically was telling me, like, if you want everyone to hear your record, then you're not punk. And I did not have the words to articulate it then, but I wish I could go back in time 15 years and tell that guy to fuck off.
Yeah, I'd like to tell that guy to fuck off too. That's dumb as fuck.
What's your relationship with that? And because you're from like a local scene where people feel really strongly about keeping your community, and there are dangers of like opening it up, and like it's vulnerable first of all, but second of all, it kind of opens yourself up to maybe your band doesn't want to be on a big energy drink tour. There are these kinds of things that are around. They're part of the conversation. Right. I know it's really hard to like have one point here, but what's your kind of rumination around that stuff?
So I think that it is great to have something that is protected with you and your community, right? And what we do, we have this little inner circle, right, where we're all crafting something, but all I can do, like, to speak to the point of, oh, this is not punk if you want everyone to hear your record, like, I don't give a fuck about being punk. I just want to be happy. And if what I like punk music. I like I like clothes that punk rockers would wear, and I don't give a fuck what some producer thinks of me. I also don't give a fuck. Can I swear like this? Of course. I also don't give a fuck what some kid in some little punk band thinks of me. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me. I want to make cool art that I think should be in the world, and if Monster Rock and Roll Energy wants to come and give me $150,000 to do it, I'll put my email at the end of this, and you can get in touch, and I'll tell you who to make the check out to. Spiritual Cramp LLC.
Similar thing with skateboarding, right? Yeah. And like Ryan Sheckler got so much shit 15 years ago for signing to Red Bull. Now, if there's a young skateboarder from anywhere in the world and they get a Red Bull sponsorship, I feel like the general reaction is like, good on him or her. Yeah. Good on them. Because then they get a few hundred quid, few thousand quid, and they can maybe pay rent.
Totally.
Fuck yeah, and they keep on doing the thing.
I saw someone the other day post something on the internet that said, just a reminder that punk rock is not a fashion show. And I thought to myself, who the fuck are you to tell me what punk rock is? Like, everyone is, the moment you start trying to do something big and people start catching on to it, people are going to start trying to tell you what they think it is that you're doing and why, or so what they think you're doing is why what you're doing is wrong. And the moment you give someone like that any sort of platform as to guide your art, you're done. You're smoked. So every day I wake up, I get in the van, and I just say to myself, I don't care. Because the moment I start actually caring, right, about what some kid, if someone says, oh, you're not punk anymore, it's like, well, maybe I'm not punk to you, but at least I'm happy. And that's all I care about, is I just want to be happy.
I think a lot about how just you can't presume how someone else lives. You don't know what kind of background someone's come from. Yeah. And what opportunities they had growing up. You don't know anything about anyone else. Yeah. Let people do their thing.
Yeah, totally, man.
But hey, this is recording number 77 on my Tascam recorder.
Number 77.
Quite fitting.
Quite fitting. Punk.
What's the most
punk
memorable? You come to London a few times now.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place in London? What's your favorite thing about the UK?
I like London because I feel like the context for which our band has been created in is very easily understood here. Most of the people here who play in bands or who, have a scene here, like, they know what we're doing. They say, oh, like, you're just like that, but you're American. And when I first came over, I was like a little worried. I was like, oh, are these people going to think I'm a poser, right? Because, a lot of what we're doing is inspired by British music and stuff that came from the UK. And it was the opposite. People, they were like, "Man, you guys are so good at doing this kind of music." And like, we played London a couple of nights ago and it was just buzzing.
We appreciate good drummers.
Yeah, Julian is an incredible drummer. We appreciate Julian very much.
What about baked beans and potato and hash browns?
Oh, yeah, sure. I love that. Honestly, I'm not a breakfast guy.
Yeah.
I don't like eating heavy breakfast. I usually save my meals till the afternoon. But when I'm here,
You intermittently fasting then? You're doing that thing?
It depends. Like on a festival day like today, I won't eat until after we play, around like 3 or 4. Then I'll eat a big meal. It just depends. I just don't want to be sluggish, because I'm already so tired from traveling all the time.
And there is something about not eating for a few hours in the morning that you do get the kind of like fizz in your veins. You're like, I gotta do something.
For sure.
Hey, 101 part-time jobs.
101 part-time jobs.
How many jobs have you had? Give me the most memorable moments, memories.
My God.
I'm talking the 9 a.m. bus when it's raining. I guess it doesn't rain that much in San Francisco, but I don't know.
It rains.
Beating down on your back, the long days, the days that you think, if I get to the end of today, I'm doing all right.
I think in my 20s, I worked at a grocery store on California and Franklin Street in San Francisco. And we were having a real good time, but we would stay out all night. And then we would go to work, a lot of us, and those days were very hard.
You made friends with the people at the grocery store.
You make friends, which is cool.
That's nice.
I like making friends. I like being like a neighborhood guy.
Yeah.
I like walking around my neighborhood and knowing everyone and stuff.
I dig it.
I lived a block away from this grocery store, so I would go out and like party with the people, and then go to the grocery store and be hungover all the time, and that was fun. I worked at a vegan food place in a town called Santa Rosa for a long time. It was just grueling. I was the dishwasher there.
Yeah. You got some sores on your hands.
Yeah, definitely. It was not very sanitary. I mean, I've done so many stupid jobs. But I think working at a grocery store, that was really fun for me. My fantasy is at the end of all of this, right? When we're done with Reading and Leeds and the band is the biggest band in the world, and we have all the $150,000 from rock and roll energy,
publishing, the live.
It's all going to be happening. We're going to have the mansion. I'm going to become a mailman.
Yes.
And I'm going to be the local neighborhood mailman. And everyone's going to know my name, and they're going to say, he's so humble. He's a rock and roll star, but he's also my mailman.
Do you know that band Liquid Mike?
Yeah, I do. That newer band.
He's a male guy.
He's a male guy?
He's a male guy.
Liquid Mike, get in touch if you see this. I'd like to know more about what your day-to-day is like. Please.
Hey, jobs bingo.
Okay.
Quick answers, please. Have you ever had a relationship with someone you've been at work at?
No, I have not.
Have you fallen asleep in the toilet?
No, I have not.
Have you stolen money from work?
Yes.
You're a pooing at home kind of guy.
I'm a time theft guy.
Yeah.
Any opportunity for time theft, especially working for big corporations.
That's the one.
When I was working for some big corporations, I would do some time theft, partially in the bathroom. Yeah.
Hey, I love that tune, Herbert's on Holiday.
Yeah.
It's such a romantic tune.
Thank
Watching you play just then, and I've seen you a couple of times before, but it struck me today for the first time that you're a great dancer. What are your songs at home to dance to?
Ooh.
Like something that you're going out on Friday, it's 5:36, you and your partner have just got back from whatever you're doing that day.
Yeah.
You've got out of the shower, you're freshened up, you're feeling hot.
Yeah.
What are you putting on the record player?
Sugar Dumpling by Sam Cooke. Oh. Any Sam Cooke, and my girl and I, we're going to cut a rug all night. Any soul. Old soul 45s.
Could I ask, what does cut a rug mean?
Cut a rug means dance.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're cutting the rug with your...
I see.
Yeah.
I thought it was something dirty.
No. It's classic.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Bingham, I think you're a legend.
Thank
brilliant.
You too. Appreciate
101 part-time jobs.
101 part-time jobs.
Any final words?
Just mind your own business and be nice to people.
That's good advice.
Nice.
Nice one.
So that's a wrap from our coverage at Reading 2024. We loved it. Thanks for listening along. Everyone we spoke to is excellent. It's put out records that we're loving. If you want to come around, if you want to stick around, you can click subscribe wherever you're listening to this, on Spotify or Apple.
Next week, even, we've got some great episodes coming up. We've got Fat Dog on the Tuesday, Joanna Sternberg on the Wednesday, and on Thursday, we've got MJ Lenderman. Loads coming up: Joey Valance and Bray, Katie J. Pearson, Lice, Blossoms, Matt Sweeney, Balance and Composure. That's what we've got lined up at the moment. That list is always being added to. So if you want to come along for it, you know how to subscribe. Cheers for my team, Eva Nagengast and Nick Steinkamp. Thanks for FOMO Rentals for the cameras, Borkowski PR for having us along to the festival, and all the PRs with the bands who set us up. Cheers!
101 Part-Time Jobs is hosted by Giles Bidder and produced by me, Olivia Swash. This has been a Mighty Moon Media production.
I'm Victoria Cash. Thanks for calling the Lucky Land Hotline. If you feel like you do the same thing every day, press 1. If you're ready to have some serious fun for the chance to redeem some serious prizes, press 2. We heard you loud and clear. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com right now and play over 100 social casino-style games for free. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
This September 12th, SON Estrella Galicia are back in London with their micro festival at Hackney's Paper Dress Vintage. With live music, beer culture, street food and workshops, SON Estrella Galicia is the musical arm of the family-owned independent Estrella Galicia beer brand, which has been creating unforgettable music experiences since 2009. The September the 12th event will be headlined by Coach Party with support from the New Eves, as well as yet-to-be-announced DJ sets and local music selectors. There'll be a clothing repair workshop to customise your repaired clothes, a local food vendor serving 0 kilometre food with veggie and vegan options, a Soundcrafters interactive workshop, and a beer pouring workshop. Alongside the London event, there'll be a series of new micro-festivals in Madrid, A Coruña, Barcelona later in 2024, and Berlin and Granada in 2025, reflecting a truly global approach from SON Estrella Galicia. So if you're in London, September the 12th, swing by Hackney's Paper Dress Vintage for SON Estrella Galicia. Tickets are available now via Dice. As an independent music podcast, 101 Part-Time Jobs highly recommends DistroKid as the best solution to putting out your own music online. You can join 1 million other artists from all across the world putting out their own music on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere else across the DSPs where people are listening to your music. My dream as a kid was to run a small little label, and now with DistroKid, getting music out online is the easiest it ever has been, making 100% of your own royalties while paying a small annual fee. And that fee's even smaller as a 101 Part-Time Jobs listener. Head to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod to get 30% off your first year putting out your own music on DistroKid. Getting your own music out into the world has never been easier. Head to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod to get the best deal you can.